The land is our foundation, and land synergy is here to solidify and restore. Join us as we connect the dots of land restoration, sustainable practices, and self-sufficiency. It's time to get rooted.
Welcome back to Land Synergy, guys. Today's episode is simple, sweet. Something on our mind that we just wanted to share that we're moving towards. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. So today, guys, we was just thinking about, so we had an issue this was maybe about a week ago. Our well, essentially something happened and the cap came off of the water pump. And essentially for almost 12 hours, the well was just gushing water out. And I'm surprised that it didn't. Surprised that the well didn't run dry. But see, it opened up my mind to what exactly a well is, and I just started doing some research, and it hit me that just the extent upon which water is located in the ground, and it was beautiful to truly come to an understanding and continue. I mean, there's no pinnacle. But what really hit me though is just the outline of the current water system, and it seems to be something that's generic, a general approach to people's water system. And the water system, when I was thinking about it, like as we move forward, this is something, just an idea I wanted to share with us. As we move forward, creating a system to where there is no wasted water. I believe we spoke about this on another episode, where getting a storage container, which we definitely plan on doing, to store rainwater so that we could utilize that around the property. And just having that mindset, guys, just it doesn't matter how much your well has, but just having an abundance mindset. And I know it conservative yet abundant, not wasteful in any regard. Having a recycled perspective, so to speak, nothing goes to waste. And so back to the point at hand, specifically around the well, is I would like to create a system. This is definitely a plan. Creating a system where all the water usage is repurposed. Now, the water around the toilet system, of course, that will be composted. So there's like a composting system. I don't know if I shared this with you guys, but it's essentially any fecal matter and pee, you're able to break it down on with wood chips and a layered system. And we spoke about this before, guys. If you haven't checked out that episode, I would definitely check it out. It's just like, if you're gonna compost your own poop and pee, pretty much, then you need to, of course, be aware of it. But I feel like most people, it's such a taboo, but we're sitting on literally gold. Because it's already broken down. It's so much things within this that can be repurposed, and then you have that compounding effect. But you have to be aware of it. You can't just put it in the ground and put something over it, because you're not breaking it down that way. You have to release the moisture, I believe, break down the moisture so that you minimize the pathogentic content. You dry it out, and then it's like that's where the minerals, you got all kinds of stuff. And again, a quick reference, guys, that I shared with in one of the other episodes, was how people in China, rural, small area that is like, a tenth of the size of an area in Texas, and how they produce 10 times more food. The simple reason being, they have a composting system where they compost their own fecal matter, and it's a compounding system. Think about it. If everything's composted, it's only growing more and more. It's only exponentially growing. Whereas in the agricultural system, you have a system that's depreciating, because you need these inputs such as herbicides and insecticides. You got to keep putting money into it for it to grow, while at the same time the land is being degraded. Whereas on the opposite, you have this Chinese system, or one of these methods, that is compounding on itself and growing. So that's a little tangent out the way. Be aware. But so back to the water. All the water in the house, guys, being able to reuse it, repurpose it, and expand upon it. Dishwater, um, water from the dryer. I mean, from the washer. Of course, not using highly synthetic compounds such as dishwasher and dish soap and stuff in the washer. Trying to use natural as you can get, vinegar and baking soda, all that good stuff, or naturally, like really great natural products. And then just imagine how much water that is, guys, that you can put into your garden. Maybe that you can put into a tank and use to wash your car. It's like, I feel like as we move forward, this mindset of how we can reincorporate what is quote unquote waste is going to help us to exponentially grow. Because in this current system, and I'm talking about the American system, you have a system that is requiring more and more inputs with less output. You got 90% consumers, 10% producers. That's not sustainable. And not to mention, everything that's being consumed from those 90% is not in any way, shape, or form being put back into the system. I mean, yes, there's small parts, but I guess on a whole. And that is changing, starting with this conversation, with businesses springing up, etc. So today's episode, guys, is simply to conclude is this. In what areas can you look to re-put back into your homestead so that you can continue to synergize both your homestead and your land? Whether it's water, whether it's a recycling system, whether it's whatever it is, guys, how can you re-put it back into your system? Now, you don't have to become a hoarder, and you don't have to have a limited mindset in that regard. But I feel like this is an abundance mindset personally. I have an app where I go to this gas station specifically to get gas, and I fill up. And yeah, the amount of money back is small, but guess what? It's those small things that add up to big things. And in this regard, it's the same with your homestead. The water and maybe the compost, all this stuff might seem minuscule, but they add up to a lot. A lot of small things make a big thing. So, in what areas can you improve the inputs back into your house? And I guess specifically to help us, you know, think of something along these regards. In what areas can you repurpose water? Until the next one, guys, continue to synergize the land, and I look forward to talking to you in the next one.